So this is after SmackDown, immediately after SmackDown. And what is confusing to me is Drew McIntyre coming out during the US Championship like promo. Jacob comes out, Solo saying that, hey, all this happened because I believe in Jacob. So really, it's all because of me. And what's great about this is that when he continues to say how it's all him, it's like I took him off the streets, I did this, I did that. It's not in a serious tone. It's like almost like with a comedic tone the further along it gets, because it obviously didn't work out with Solo being like a serious character, and it's just better, he just comes across better when he's a little bit more comedic. So it did seem like it wasn't intentionally trying to be super serious, that it just got a little bit more comedic, a little more just over the top the more and more he mentioned it. And then the shot of Jacob just looking over like, what are you talking about? And then him just taking the mic away. Perfect. Eventually, I'm sure that if they do end up staying together faction wise, obviously Jacob's going to end up being the leader and Solo's going to be like kind of second to him, which I think is fine. Though it might seem like a step down from being like right next to Roman to being next to Jacob, just in a sense of star power. Not saying Jacob isn't going to be great, but I think it's more important to be in spots where you get the most out of yourself, or where you can perform the best. And with Solo, I feel like still trying to find himself after actually just being, after just him just showing more of himself outside of just not saying anything. I think that would be better for his character. And honestly, once people finally actually connect with him and then connect with everything that he's doing, I'm sure it'll be way more fulfilling. But LA Knight comes out, they're talking, and then Drew McIntyre comes out. Why the fuck is he here? Genuinely, like, why is he here? And this leads to him and LA Knight getting into it, and Drew saying that he wants to fight Jacob now. That's a good match, but from just a standpoint of going from World Heavyweight Championship, a storyline coming from that with Damian Priest, and now it seemingly seems like at Backlash there's gonna be like at least like 2 like fatal 4-ways, honestly, because LA Knight and Drew get into it and they're like, hey, we can fight right now, and then that ends up being a number 1 contenders match, which ends in a disqualification. Solo comes and spikes LA Knight, then Priest comes out and slams Drew through a table, which I guess it makes sense because obviously, like, with a finish to that match, it's either you have Drew going for the US Championship, which is like, is that really what you want to do? And with all the reports saying that like he wants to get into stuff with better storylines and like getting into the main event scene, it's like, all right, why are you in this US number 1 contender match? It's literally the very opposite of what's being put out there. So I guess that's good because it doesn't really pigeonhole him into that. And then it's a matter of, okay, you just gave the belt to Fatu. Is he gonna, like, if there's a match with Drew and Fatu, like, what's going to happen here? Because that'd be a good match, but like in terms of a championship, are you going to have your former world heavyweight champion lose to Fatu? Because I don't think he should lose it, or he shouldn't lose it to Drew. It just seems like a weird situation to put Drew in. But after all that, and then there being like no finish, it seems like it might just be fatal 4-way, Drew, Fatu, LA Knight, and you probably, well, you're throwing Damian Priest in there, or maybe Solo, but I don't really know about Solo. Unless Solo's starting to feel a type of way about Jacob talking back to him or getting buck with him, then it ends up like, what would even be the word for like a 5-way? Furious 5? I don't fucking know. But I can literally see it ended up being Priest, Drew, Knight, Fatu, which it doesn't sound like a bad match, but like, is it necessary? And obviously, out of that, it would have to be either Fatu or Knight winning in terms of just who's gonna get propped up or who like should really get the belt. And then like Priest and Drew just ended up getting added to the match just because they're just beefing, and then Drew is just by proxy beefing with Knight, so it's like, all right, well, I have to deal with you, and then Priest is just added because he's just beefing with Drew. And with that multi-man, I feel like the seed is planted for Jade, Tiffany, Nia Jax, Naomi. Now, out of all of these 4, I'd rather see Naomi have it. I'm not saying that I don't like Tiffany, but if it's gonna be somebody new, I'd rather it be Naomi. And a crazy realization or epiphany I had, I've been watching a lot of the WWE Evolve show. So I'm gonna do a review series on it. I'm on episode 4 now. But you might be asking, why the fuck are you mentioning this? Well, because I've been hearing things. I say hearing. I've been watching other content creators and people's opinions, and a lot of people saying that Jade isn't really that great in the ring. Now, I'm like, I haven't really had this opinion. I haven't noticed anything bad from her. So I thought that opinion was really crazy. I'm like, she can't be terrible, but it's more so that people are saying that she hasn't developed since she first came in. And I'll be honest, I might need to do a background check on Jade Cargill, because a lot of what I saw in that match with Tiffany that ended in a very similar way to the US situation, it's a little suspect. Now, this is maybe a tiny bit hater alert, but a lot of what I see, I can't say a lot. There's certain things that I've seen from the Evolve that I've seen like very similar in Jade's match with Tiffany, because like in the main thing is like doing like one powerhouse move and then like immediately posturing to the crowd. And I'll be honest, the pet peeve I have is wrestlers doing like one move and then posturing. And it's different when you're over, because the crowd like actually reacts, and they react to Jade. But with other wrestlers, like they'll do stuff and then they'll immediately like posture, but like not like posturing in their character's way, but like clearly like trying to get the crowd to like react. It's like, oh, I did the cool sequence, make a noise, right? Instead of like just it's hard to say. I think one example I can give is like Roman Reigns. Like when he does like a sequence, he'll get up, but he won't really look at the crowd. He just has a look. He looks around, but like his mannerisms and what he's doing, it's not like him lifting his arms up and looking at the crowd like, come on. It's like him like keeping a serious face, like flipping his hair back, like it's still posturing, but it's giving a chance for the crowd to react, and him taking it slow without him just obviously like telling the crowd to get involved. But back to the situation of Jade, there wasn't anything super crazy in that match. And on paper, Tiffany and Jade seems like a really good match. But it didn't really, and now granted, like obviously it wasn't supposed to have a real finish, so I can't say that it I can't really treat it like it was supposed to be a full on match. But I'm thinking there's some validity to what people are saying about Jade. I'm gonna have to do a background check and take a closer look at her matches and see, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm thinking they might be right. And I don't know if I care about Nia Jax coming back after Tiffany. I mean, in all honesty, that little feud should happen just naturally. Like Tiffany wanted through the Money in the Bank. Like, it's due. Like, we have to get through that little storyline. And I guess it's better now than later. It was cool to see her come back because I was wondering, like, what exactly is going on here? Like, where is Nia at? But she's back, and again, it's looking like it's gonna be another fatal 4-way. I don't mind it. I just wonder if it's just a matter of at WrestleMania they saw that the triple threat and the 4-way went really well, so it's like, all right, let's do more. And like, it might just be a knee-jerk reaction, but it'll only backfire if these multi-man matches and multi-women matches are not good. All it takes is for one of them to not be good, and it kind of just ruins it. I mean, not say ruin it, but it's just like, it's just clear that a pattern is showing up. Like, oh, this worked, let's just do it with these people. And I'm more so worried about the women's one, if that happens, than the men's one. So, yeah.